Hello, I'm Catherine Corelli. Welcome to my YouTube channel or to my Instagram if you're watching on Instagram. Γεια σας, είμαι η Κατερίνα Corelli. Καλώς ήρθες στο κανάλι μου. Today I continue the series of paintings dedicated to the island of Samos. So this time it's the same format. I have these series is all happening within the context of these same size canvases. So they're like 18 inches by 30 inches, as far as I remember. 18 and a half by 30 and a half, something to that effect. And I had them stacked up in my bedroom, all prepped and gessoed and ready to go for like a year, like I was saying before. And so now finally I'm catching up to them, and thanks to my good friend Leonidas, I'm actually finally using his reference pictures and painting different landscapes from the island of Samos. And I have to say that this summer I kind of slowed down as far as my painting because I just didn't want to rush anything. I wanted to get a little break from my Sun City project, or rather kind of a step back so that I could, kind of think through things a little better. I didn't paint a lot of paintings this summer. I was just allowing myself to kind of chill and paint whatever I wanted to paint, while simultaneously trying to perfect, some of my skills. And going for this Greek Samos series was the best option. I really think so. Now I'm also painting some portraits, and I don't know if I'll paint another Samos painting or no. I think I'm ready for the next Sun City painting, which is going to be a pretty difficult one because I'll have like 4 figures there, 4 characters, and I'll really need to think it through really well. And I was sketching in charcoal and pencil, and those videos, by the way, with those sketches, they're available on my YouTube in the members area. But today I am just painting the Samos island. I guess this is morning, and I am trying to capture the subtlety of those tones and the beauty of the moment. The beauty of the moment, when everything is kind of still asleep, but it kind of starts to wake up. There's a stone pathway in the forefront, and there's a vast landscape in the back. And I started with the sky, and then just, went ahead and blocked in everything in the back, knowing that everything here in our immediate vicinity is going to kind of overlay that background landscape. But I don't know. Am I going to paint another Samos painting soon or no? I'm not quite sure. I don't know. I'm thinking about this. They take longer. These paintings, they take longer, even though this particular one, I actually painted it pretty quickly. I managed to free up some space for a couple of days, and I just really went for it. You see, there's daylight, so I was painting during daytime and during nighttime as well, and it allowed me to speed up my process a little bit. But the thing is that I kind of have to balance my time in such a way that I have in time for everything. And that everything includes not just painting, but also the work on the next single. And I'm currently writing lyrics for the next single, and damn it. It's not easy. It's not easy. And simultaneously, I'm also thinking about the next single already. While I'm working on the 10th single, I'm already thinking about the 11th single, about the next one. I know what the story holds. I know what should happen story-wise. in these songs. So it's not like just writing a song, which is kind of like a standalone thing, right? When you write a song and it's about its own thing and it's self-contained, that's one thing. But when you're working on an album, which is a story, and you're supposed to carry that story, and every song has a section of that story, and you have to put that piece of the story into that song and build your song around that, it makes things a lot more exciting, I think. But there are certain challenges, because now you have to pack certain things into the hook. It's a different approach to songwriting altogether, when every song is a piece of a coherent story that runs throughout the whole album. And I don't want to be kind of too nerdy with this, And in the end of the day, every song still should stand on its own as a standalone song. It should be able to stand on its own, and it should be able to also sit very well and coherently within the context of the whole album. So that's a challenge, but I'm working on this. It's not the first time that I'm working on something like this, but it's quite different from Gehenna Arcanum, for example. Working on that album was a very different experience. And this time, sometimes I have to just take more time because I need to think things through. And by the way, if you want to actually explore the blueprint of the story, it's kind of the blueprint for the book, really, right now. I want to invite you to check out my WordPress, because now I've revived my old WordPress site, which I started back in 2012 or 2013, something to that effect. So the Sun City story evolves in articles, article after article, every Wednesday. So I want to invite you to go and check out my WordPress site. Leave me a comment, But I want you to keep in mind that those articles on WordPress, it's like a laser point that focuses specifically on the protagonist, and it kind of shortens everything and excludes a vast amount of detail and side stories and all sorts of things. And it focuses specifically it's kind of like a plot summary. You could think of it this way. But at least it expands on what is in the songs. So Giants, for example. The first single and the first chapter and the first song from the Sun City album is called Giants. The article explains who those giants are, and it explains, what actually happens there. It expands on the song, and it kind of lays the groundwork for what's going to be happening in the first chapter of the book. Of course, in the first chapter of the book, there's going to be a lot more that's going to be happening in this first chapter. It's not going to be that short. There's going to be a lot more detail. There's going to be a lot more depth to it. But, the article at least provides you kind of a more expansive understanding of what's actually going on. So every Wednesday, I'm publishing these articles. I'm just moving chapter after chapter. Oh, you see, there are the stones. Gosh, I love this. I loved painting this landscape. It was so cool. Such a magical view, really. And I wanted to paint it loose. I didn't want to obsess over the little details, really. I just wanted to have this beautiful loose landscape, and I wanted to allow the colors and shapes to speak for themselves. Eventually this painting will be available. You know what, I think maybe I won't wait until I frame it. At some point I just hope to get some good pictures, and maybe I'll make these newer paintings available as prints first. On Etsy, of course. And the other thing is that I want to invite you to visit my store on Etsy. Go check it out. Find something for yourself. I have a hot print right now there that, people find very attractive. check it out. Here's a finished painting. The photo is not, it's not the best one. I'll have to take more photos of it, but here's the finished work. And about YouTube, of course, I want to encourage you to subscribe to my channel. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and see. If you're already a subscriber and you want to see more, there is stuff that I'm not publishing for the general public. It's not available for the general public. And so there is just more content, which is exclusive, and that's only for members. So check it out as well. And that's where I'm going to leave. Thank you very much for being with me, and until next time, ciao.